I am not making the same mistake today. I have the audio on. I have it tested. We are all good. Hello, Naps. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Jocelyn, and today we are going to be kind of doing a part 2 to my HALT video. You can check that out right up there. And we're going to be doing some like Gothic Glam. I'm feeling kind of Gothic Glam mood today. So let's get started. Alright, okay, let's start. I'm going to use my Nars Pore and Shine Primer. Use whatever primer you have. If you're new to this channel, a heads up, I do my makeup and I talk about stuff. So today's stuff is more mental healthy, and then this is also not as like fact-based with other articles. This is like me thoughts based off of like what I've had experience-wise and what I've seen with other people and me talking to a couple friends. Usually what'll happen is I'll link all articles down in the description below, including all the products that I use so that you can check those out. So if I have any articles that I find later, those will all be linked below. Otherwise, yeah, let's prime it up. I also gotta take this lip gloss off my lips. The only piece of makeup that I had on today. I'm just naturally this shiny and red. Don't forget to give yourself a little face massage because you deserve it. Let's get your foundation on. I'm using Your Skin But Better by IT Cosmetics, and this is in Fair Neutral 11. If you've not seen my previous video on HALT, quick rundown, or if you've forgotten because it was a rather old video. So HALT is what you do when you find yourself in a situation where you are not necessarily reacting to scale with how you maybe should be reacting. And if you catch yourself in that situation, you can check HALT to see if maybe there's some things that you can do to remedy that mindset. HALT is checking to see if you are hungry, angry, lonely, or tired. I mean, how many times have you gotten into an argument with a significant other and then you realize, oh, it's past when I normally eat dinner? I've definitely done that. Usually it's more around lunchtime though. I get distracted and I forget lunch sometimes. The best thing to do is if you find yourself just really frustrated during the day and you haven't gotten into an argument with somebody yet, is to do your HALT check-in then. Because that way you are less likely to be already defensive in the argument mode when you realize, like, am I reacting to this well? Because I don't know about you, but when I'm already like in argument mode, it's really hard to get me out of it, even if I'm wrong, or even if I know that like I'm not reacting accordingly. I just don't want to be told that like, oh, you're overreacting or whatever, like the worst way to get me down from an argument. I find that applies to a lot of people too. If you find yourself just really frustrated during the day, and you're like, why am I so frustrated? Why does everything feel like it's falling apart? Why does the world feel like it's against me? You might wanna HALT and check yourself. But there's also times where HALT doesn't seem to cut it. And HALT isn't supposed to solve most of your problems, but even thinking back on it, like in work situations, I find that sometimes HALT doesn't cut it either. I'm taking my Paul & Joe Loose Face Setting Powder. I'm gonna get this so my foundation doesn't go anywhere. Neither does that concealer. It's important to note, there are extenuating circumstances in every situation that may cause you to feel overwhelmed, anxious, afraid, angry, however you may be feeling in a situation. And then there's also the thing that like, other people cause those emotions too. But if you're in a situation where your emotions don't seem to be reflecting what's happening, that is where all of this kicks in. And HALT isn't exclusive to the different things that could be causing some delayed emotions. So I came up with another fun little acronym today that might also help check a few more boxes. I'm gonna put on my Nars Laguna bronzer. We're gonna brush that in. Yeah, the acronym is B.O.N.D, so why not take advantage of the fact that it's such a fun acronym and do like a little bit of a darker, like, ooh, kind of vibe, you know? I'm feeling my cheekbones today, look at that. Thanks for tolerating me while I'm contouring my face. Next, I'm going to be taking my Jouer Rose Gold Blush Duo, and I am going to be using shade Marigold, which is that darker shade. I use the rose petal, but if I'm really being honest, my personal preference is kind of more of the Marigold when I do makeup just for me. I always like that this blush has like a nice level of shine to it too, so I always go for my nose just for a little bit, make a natural glisten, a little bit extra shine that's not like sparkles or like wet looking. And I'm going to be taking my ColourPop Bullzeye light stick, I think. And I'm gonna swipe it over my cheekbones. Yeah, this one has like a nice goldy shimmer to it. So you might be wondering at this point, might be like, Jocelyn, what the heck does B.O.N.D stand for? I'm like, we're gonna get there. If you're impatient, I suppose I can tell you. Sorry, I'm in a joke mood apparently. And I tried to make it sound like a word, so some of the words might not sound super easy to understand, like hungry, angry, lonely, tired. All those make sense alone without needing to fudge them, and they make a word, HALT. But my original word was like PWLT. I was like, that doesn't really make sense. So I changed it to B.O.N.D and I switched some of the words around, but it made the words a little less clear. So we're gonna explain it. Boils down to behind, overworked, nature, or damage. Go to the next part of this, which is gonna be brows. I'm gonna go for a little bit of a darker brow today. I'm gonna use my Anastasia Beverly Hills Eyebrow Mascara in shade Ebony. We're gonna get those hairs in place. Yeah, apparently that line is just there now. I got all my eyebrows in all of the places. Jeez, okay. I guess we're using a little concealer to fix that. Didn't think eyebrow mascara was gonna do me like that today, but here we are. So next things next, let's get into some eye stuff. Yeah, I'm gonna use my Anastasia Beverly Hills Eye Primer. I'm gonna use an eye primer today. Big step for me. I've been ignoring it again. So when we are behind, that is like there's stuff that you feel you need to do that you're not doing. And this can also be life too, like comparison. If you feel behind in any way, those are feelings that you need to tackle and also cannot really be fixed by an outside source. That usually has to come from, you fixing that. I'm sorry to say. Some of that can be like you're not getting the recognition for the work that you are doing, or whatever circles you're in might not be seeing some of that work as like actual work. Or it might be that like all of your friends are XYZ and for some reason you haven't done XYZ yet. Or if you ever plan on doing XYZ. B.O.N.D is about accepting yourself and understanding what you need to do to help fix some of those things that are maybe a little bit more mental and maybe a little less like physical world. 1/2 exceptions. Okay, next I'm going to be using the James Charles Morphe palette. It has a really good black in it, which is what I will be using. I think the black shade is called Spooky. Shade names will be linked below in the description, just so you're aware. Okay, I'm going to take that black shade. Probably should not have done my base this early. Oh, okay, and immediately, I already see. Oh no, you've betrayed me, brush. Better? Okay, maybe we just wait. We'll wait till the end before fixing the black fallout. I'm almost drawing it like a very crazy, very thick wing. If you feel behind, that can lead you to feel a whole bunch of emotions, including overwhelmed. And once you feel overwhelmed, you can start reacting to situations in ways that you don't want to and you wouldn't normally, kind of taking it a little bit underneath. Oh, there's so much fallout. Why are we dipping? We weren't supposed to be dipping. We're not doing smiley faces here. And I'm also going to take that black and I think I'm going to inner corner it. I might regret this. We'll see. I haven't done like a really dark look in a while. So getting a base coat and then I will try and diffuse some of the edges a little bit, I think. Well, it's kind of like fierce already. How can you fix feeling behind? By giving yourself a little patience and stop comparing yourself also. By the way, not a professional here, so this is not a professional advice. This is what works for me. 'Tis not fact. Use your own judgment and your own discretion if you decide to take any of this advice. Oh, that fallout's bad. We're gonna fix it. I'll just go in with more concealer. Seems to be a running thing when I try and smoke stuff out. We'll just concealer some of it. And I'm buffing out the bottom of the wing, the under eye a little bit, and the outer edge of that inner corner to try and make it not quite as harsh. Using a clean brush. I've seen a lot of people who use like really bright colors to smoke it out, which looks really nice. Oh, I think I'm gonna do a little bit of red. I haven't done like a black and red look, I don't think. I don't wanna like smoke it out too crazy. And I'm putting this on top of the black from the middle of my eye to that outer line, and then also the inner part too. Give yourself a little patience, a little grace, and accept where you are, because stressing yourself out about where other people are and where you are in comparison is never a direct line. There are so many people who are in different stages of their life, have had different preparations, are different people altogether, and don't have your goals and expectations. Don't compare yourself to people who don't have your goals. Don't compare yourself to people who aren't trying to go to the same place in life. It just doesn't make sense. And even then, a lot of the people who have already made it to where you want to be, you can look at their life and try and see it like a template, but don't look at it exactly, because they're coming from a completely different environment than you did most of the time. There's almost never a direct correlation when it comes to people, because there's just so many factors that influence how people get to where they are in their lives. So that brings us next to O in B.O.N D, which is overworked. This one's pretty simple. This one I didn't really need to fudge that much. This one is literally just like, are you maybe pushing yourself too far? I'm gonna blend that red a little bit and hope that I can smoke it into that black. If you are feeling overworked, it might be a sign that you need to slow down a little bit. Is your workload maintainable? Is it just that you need a break? Are you feeling overwhelmed because of the amount of different things that you're trying to do in your life at the same time? I know that hit me last weekend pretty hard. I was trying to be a superhuman is what I was trying to be. And it didn't work, and as you guys probably noticed, I didn't put a video out last week. And that's because I realized, like, I really needed to take a break. I needed to give myself the space to, like, do things in my own time and maybe not stress myself out as much as I was. It's okay to do that, but only you can give yourself permission to do that. I'm gonna go back in with the black and try and darken up this wing area a little bit, and maybe some of that inner corner, we'll see. This is cool and not what I expected it to look like. And we have our black, we have our red. We've got 2 out of 4 of our B.O.N D. What's next, you might ask? Clean up this a little bit. I'm gonna use my Benefit Boiing Cakeless Concealer. Clean up that bottom area that I got all sorts of fallout over. You know, define the line with the diffusion, and then I can go back in with another fluffier thing and like blend it so it doesn't look like this. Not every brush has to do it all, right? There we go. That's that line definition I wanted. Next, just because I am a sucker for lines and gold and shimmer and stuff, and even though this has red, I want gold in it, I am going to take a little bit of my Mayron metallic powder in gold, and I'm going to take a little bit of my Mayron mixing liquid, and I am going to make a nice little gold paste concoction out of it. And I just mixed it all together. See how pretty that is though? Like, beautiful. This is where I maybe didn't plan the same as what it has turned out, and that might be a little bit more problematic. Originally I was going to try and do like a smoky thing up, but I have this diagonal thing going right now, and I'd like to keep that diagonal vibe. So maybe I'm gonna make more of like a little sun here. Yeah, we're gonna make a sun in that like little pale area that we left. We'll say purposely makeupless-ish. And the brush that I'm using is just like a little flat brush. But I am going to be switching to a detailed brush for some rays, which shouldn't be a surprise to anyone. If you're overworked, you really just need to figure out how to pace yourself better if you have the ability to, or you might need to consider removing some things from your schedule, and that is all dependent on your wants, needs, and goals. I am not going to make any assumptions on what is best for anyone in that instance. That is all you. The next thing is nature. Now, this one I learned about the other day. I have a friend who was telling me about how they were really overwhelmed when they first got this new job that they have. And it's exciting, and they're really pumped and ready for it, and it's a good career move, and it's a lot of work. But at the same time, this person was doing everything that they thought they could to get sleep, you know, see people, have a healthy work-life balance, you know, all the things in HALT. But they were still stressed, and they couldn't articulate to anyone why. And in that instance, they said the only thing that helped was a friend invited them to go, like, camping in the woods. They went, they turned off their phone, and You know, next thing you know, peace and like serenity and great calm came over my friend. And they realized that, like, you know, maybe being in city life 24/7 was not where they personally needed to be. And that's okay. Not everyone can deal with that. But not everyone also has the luxury of not living in a city, you know? Not everyone's work can allow them to be far away from big areas of commerce or outside of certain marketplaces. Drawing sun rays are difficult. Why is drawing everything on eyes difficult? Anybody want to answer me that? Yeah, we're gonna do that. That looks like a good choice. Wow, one eye is so much more even than the other. It's a lot. It's very different. This one's got like a little crown, and then this one's like an actual little sun. I don't know if there's any way I can fix that at this point. I think what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna take a little bit of that gold and go under my brow with it, just in that like arch area, so it has a little bit more of a glow. And then I also want it to go under my eye a little too, because at this point I've now just really embraced adding that gold in there, and I don't want to do anything different. So much for wanting to go Gothic Glam, I suppose. I'm not sure what this is. And I'm gonna take this just along the bottom waterline, I think. I'm going to about mid-eye under there. I'm going to take an eyeliner. I think I'm gonna take, the Patrick Star One Size Point Made Bodacious Black Eyeliner. It's a felt tip, and I am just going to add a little extra black to that wing, and maybe also add a little point to that inner corner. It's times like this where I do wish my eyes were more even, but that's okay. And I'm gonna go in with my Wet n Wild Baby's Got Black eyeliner pencil and do my upper waterline, because I don't want to mess up the sun, so I didn't go over the sun, but I also want to make this eye pop. And maybe also in the bottom waterline too. Yeah, this is very fun. Okay, next I'm going to be taking my Clinique High Impact Mascara, and let's talk about the last one, Damage. Damage is a little bit difficult because originally I was using the word pain. Pain can be emotional, pain can be physical. But if you are in pain, sometimes it can cause you to act in ways that you do not want to happen, but it still does happen. Some days people have better pain days than others, depending if you have chronic pain or not. But just try and keep in mind, if you are having like a bad day for pain, be it emotional, physical, mental, then sometimes that does affect how you interact with other people, and doesn't always mean that those people who you love or care about are attempting to do anything to make things worse. They just might not realize that it is that type of day, or there's a small chance that your pain may be talking in place of some of your rationalities too. So again, it's good to know about before you get into an argument. If you can feel it coming on, that is definitely personal experience there. Something that I really like that happened with my bottom lashes is they almost got like tipped gold by this cosmetic metal. So I'm actually gonna go in with that flat brush and that gold, and I'm just gonna try and tip the lashes gold a little bit. Yeah, I think the gold just adds something a little bit fun to it. And of course I've got a lovely gold dot where it was not intended. The good and the bad about the liquid metal is it's kind of difficult to get rid of once it's on, and that's partially because the mixing liquid does that as well. Next time you are feeling overwhelmed, or like maybe you're not reacting quite the way you would normally react under different circumstances, stop for a second and check. Are you hungry, angry, lonely, tired? If those pass, another good check really quick is, do you feel behind? Do you feel overworked? Would you benefit from being around some nature for a while? Has it been a minute since you've seen nature? And are you having a particularly bad damage day? Are you having a bad pain day? Damage and pain, I'm using them interchangeably, but that doesn't always mean that. Clarification there. And let's get a lip on. I'm gonna use my Nabla Black Champagne lipstick here. Pop it on. Oh, I did it. I got all over my teeth. The makeup community demands that you pop on lashes with it, and it will cause the makeup to look really cool. But I did so much work making my eyelashes gold at the end, and that means I have to make those gold at the end if I use other lashes. I'm gonna use my Hell Bites Beauty Foxy lashes. I'm gonna just make the tip gold like I did my natural lashes. I'm gonna pop those on because I need a good like finishing. a finishing effect, right? Yeah, these are very sun ray-like. Sometimes I get a little disappointed that false lashes just look so good, but man. Like, they just add that little bit of extra. Okay, I don't know if I would call this look Gothic Glam anymore. I'm not really sure what I would call it. You let me know down below what you think it is, cause I'm not mad at it. It's got like a little bit of gothy vibes, but also maybe not quite that area. Tell me about how you deal with conflict, how you deal with some inner turmoil. Do you think that B.O.N.D and HALT, do you think they apply to you? Do you think they would be good tools to keep in mind? Do you think maybe not? Do you have other things that you do? Let me know down in the comments. I really appreciate you watching all the way through this video. Thank you so much for coming here. Don't forget to like this video, hit that subscribe button, ding the notification bell to get reminded whenever I post videos, and I will hopefully see you here next Thursday for another video. All right, Naps, thank you so much. Have a nice day. Bye.